So how's everybody doing? Now today I'm going to review B.o.B's Strange Clouds. Now, I listened to B.o.B's past album, which I really forgot, if I liked it, if I was feeling it. The only thing I can really remember about it was I wasn't feeling the collaborations. It had too many collaborations. I just wanted to hear B.o.B and, what he had to offer, because that was his, his freshman album. He's coming out. I wanted to hear him, So I was disappointed. I can only remember the collaborations were what really set me back from me wanting to hear this album. I felt like it had too many collaborations. I just came here to listen to B.o.B and that was it. So that's the only thing I could think was wrong with it. I can't really remember what else I didn't like or did like from that album, but I may have to go back and listen to that album again, because this album, I gotta say, I liked it. So with that being said, I'm gonna hop right into it and tell you things that I liked about this album, maybe some things I didn't like about this album, get into what songs I was feeling off this album, and with that being said, let's get into it. So this album has 15 tracks on it, and it features, Chris Brown, T.I., even has Morgan Freeman, Nicki Minaj, Taylor Swift, Trey Songz is on here, and a couple other artists are on this. So, it's set with good amount of features. This is what I liked about this. The features really didn't get in your way of me, or me personally, it didn't get in my way of me wanting to hear B.o.B. The features were mainly on, the choruses. So he had some artists like T.I., he had him on a verse, which is straight, I was feeling it. He had Nicki on a verse, and I liked it. The collaborations didn't get in my way. You came to listen to B.o.B, and that's what you got. That's what I felt like I got. I didn't feel like I was listening to a bunch of different artists hop on another artist's song and have it called his. And along with the collaborations, I gotta say the production on this album, I liked. I was feeling it. The beats were on point. I can't say a single song that I wasn't feeling, because the way the beat sounded, or the way it was produced, or anything like that. I liked it personally. Now, one thing that he really forced into you throughout this album was, fame, and how I guess it changed him, or how it made him look at things differently, and people looked at him at a different manner now that he has the money and has all this, which he really, forced you to listen to, between songs, where he would go from, it being a hot song where you would just, play to get some type of groove or party or whatever, to him focusing on like fame and other stuff. So that's one of the things I really got from there, where he wanted to address about the fame issues and him changing and people not liking what he has done right now. He likes his previous work, which every artist, they have their opinion on, what was their best work and what was this work and what was that work. But also, I was really surprised about some of the features that were on this album. Like, he had Morgan Freeman, which I wasn't sure if it was a sample or if it was like Morgan Freeman he set up just to have on this album, and you will never hear him on a movie or anything with this same type of words or whatever. It was just specifically for this album. So I was really, shocked when I seen Morgan Freeman. And then another track with Taylor Swift in him, which I gotta say, I liked. It started off with Taylor Swift coming in, then B.o.B came right in, and I was feeling that. One of the things that I disliked was Nicki's verse. Now, I felt like she could have came in harder. I didn't feel like she was really trying. She was just, saying a few things just to have a feature song on it, hoping, maybe he'll get a few downloads off of iTunes, or even having some sales from in the store just by having it saying Nicki's featured on it or something like that. Because I didn't feel like she went in at all. She didn't give any type of feeling that she cared to be on the song. That was just me personally. I didn't really like her verse as much. It wasn't appealing to me. So with that being said, I'm gonna hop in and give you 4 songs that I was feeling off of this album, which would have to be Bombs Away featuring Morgan Freeman, Play for Keeps, Arena featuring Chris Brown and T.I., and So Hard to Breathe. Now, judging this album alone, like I said, I haven't really listened to his last album in a while, since it's been released, so I really don't want to judge it with it being a comparison. But judging it by itself, I liked it from start to finish. I could play every track over and over, and I really don't dislike anything. I don't really feel like it had a problem with anything in here. So with that being said, I gotta give this album a 10. I felt like B.o.B did a good job on it. So if you already checked it out and got it off of iTunes or bought it at the store, tell me what you think down below in the comment section. What songs were you feeling? Do you feel like B.o.B was, going in on this album? Do you feel like you got more from his last album? Or did you feel like you got more out of this album than his last one? Also, tell me if the collaborations, if they got in your way more or less in this one, if you would like just have more of him and less collaborations, which I was fine. Like I said, the collaborations on this album, I had no problem with them. I didn't feel like it wasn't just a song with a bunch of artists on it and B.o.B just co-signing these artists to hop on so we can get some sales. So I thought it was straight. Tell me what you think down below. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you subscribed, hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. All links are down below. So whenever I got a video, you always get it. It doesn't get lost in your subscription box. You know, with that being said, I'm out. Peace.